Our research systems today are Newtonian. They're isolationist systems. You cannot study a human being in isolation. You can't study a vitamin in isolation. I'll give you a perfect example. What part of a watch tells time?
The crystal?
The whole watch. What gear can you get rid of in my watch and still have a watch that tells time? So when you're looking at what makes health, it's all the factors that make health. If you eat a bunch of sweet pans, it doesn't improve the function of your watch, your body. So taking vitamin isolates is like eating a whole pile of sweet pans. It doesn't improve anything. In nature, for example, in nature, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and trace minerals always occur in packages that work like a watch. So when you eat an orange, you're eating a nutrition complex. You're eating the equivalent of a working system like a watch. But when you eat ascorbic acid, you're eating sweet pans, or you're eating the lens on the watch, or you're eating the dial. What people don't realize is when you start taking vitamin isolates and synthetic isolates and drugs, your body has to run around and extract nutrients from your own nutrient reserves to rebuild the complex. So if you eat 5,000 units of beta-carotene, you've eaten the equivalent amount of beta-carotene that you would have had to have eaten 6 pounds of carrots. Okay? And that's a low dose. If you eat something like Joe Weider megavitamins, you could get a whopping dose. Your body thinks, my God, this person just ate the whole carrot patch. So what your body has to do is run around and extract vitamins, minerals, enzymes, trace minerals, and rebuild the complex. So what you do is you get rid of one problem and create 5 more. And the industry knows this is happening. That's how they keep making money. You go to GNC, you say, my scalp itches, what should I take? They say, oh, here, take this vitamin. You come back a month later, you see, no, my scalp doesn't itch anymore, but now my rectum itches. I got ringing in my ears, and I can't see very well. Oh, no problem. Well, I'm glad we got you over the scalp itch. Here, take these. You come back a month later. Your rectum's not itching anymore, but you're tired all the time and you can't think straight. So what happens is, as the body keeps trying to reconstruct the vitamin complexes, it fixes one problem and creates 3 more, right? But every bit of this is backed by research, right? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a fat lion out in the wild? You ever seen a sick horse? You know, we got all this information about how dangerous red meat is, but I don't see any lions with clogged arteries. I don't see any alligators with clogged arteries. I've never seen a chubby rattlesnake. Have you? Okay? Well, there's a simple fact here. If you eat according to the dictates of nature, you don't get sick. And the animals have proven that to us. But isn't it interesting? As soon as you study the rates of disease of animals in the zoo, they're far sicker. They're more like human beings. If you just look at dogs, people feed their dogs processed garbage, and we've got an epidemic of dogs dying of cancer right now all over the country. And people spend as much money on their animals as they do on themselves, yet nobody's intelligent enough to feed a dog what a dog's supposed to eat: meat. You don't feed dogs broccoli, eggs, donuts, and cauliflower. They're dogs, right? So the same thing we're doing to dogs, we're doing to ourselves. But you don't need a research study to observe a dog in the wild that hunts and eats animals, right? So our level of intelligence has dropped so low that we want to feed dogs the way we feed sick human beings. So what do you have? You have a fat, sick dog that farts all the time. And does that sound familiar?
Actually, it does.
Right. And do we need a research project for that? No. We need to stop all the stupid research. If we want to do research, we got to do real research, and that means it cannot be biased by corporate influence. Okay? So the question is, who's going to fund it?
Good question.
That's my opinion on research.